All right, all right. Good evening. Welcome to After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. I'm your host, the romantic funny man, Shawn Cornelius. I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight and all the people that are out watching the show. I got a very, very special show tonight. This is going to be awesome because my guest tonight, I feel like we have something in common. I don't know. We're going to find out what it is, but I think I'm going to feel so comfortable sitting down talking with them tonight about everything from love, romance, what they're into, how they got to where they're. All right, let me stop playing around. They're life and love coaches. That's who they are. They're very, very nice people. They're a married couple, and that's why this is gonna be so good because a lot of you folks who watch this show need some help. Me too, but a lot of you need some help. But they have appeared on the own Oprah Winfrey Network, the show Black Love. And I watched a piece of their episode, and they're so loving, they're so nice and warm to each other. You might think that it's a reality show, but I'm going to find out tonight how real that is. They've just appeared on so much. They've helped so many couples in the industry and outside the industry, from athletes to actors and actresses, politicians, music people, singers, and we're going to find out a whole lot about them. And then when we get to the second half, we're going to really find out exactly how much they know about love and romance and interest, because they're titled life, love, and love coaches. So please welcome to this show. I'm so honored and humbled to have them here tonight. Please welcome the amazing Clarks, Melanie and Anthony Clark. Good evening.
What's up? Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us on, Shawn.
Oh, thank you for doing this. Did you like that intro? Did I do it right?
Nice.
Shawn, you did it justice. You know what I love too? I love that name, Shawn Cornelius. When you say that, it's like, it's about to go down.
Is it Hollywood? Is it Hollywood?
I love that. Sounds good. It's a good look.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I did a little bit of. First of all, I want to thank Melinda for introducing us.
Yes.
It was so awesome of her to say, "Oh my God, these guys will be great on the show," and this and that and blah blah blah. And she built you guys up, and we met. It's like, okay, they're gonna be real cool. They're real cool.
Oh, yeah, we love Melinda. That's family.
Yes.
Family. Your title. She's the amazing Clarks, not just the average Clarks or the regular Clarks or just the Clarks. It's the amazing. Now, who gave you that? Was that the self-inflicted?
You want to?
No, go ahead. This is all you, boo. That's all you.
You know, actually, it's the Amazing Clarks. They call us the Amazing Clarks because we empower people to live amazing lives. So that's where the name actually came from. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
There you go.
That's your close-up, brother.
Okay, all right.
It's all you.
Good.
This is TV.
And you know what? And when we first started coaching about 22 years ago, we were doing stuff in the industry, and they would go through people's names like to see what experts they wanted to book on the show. And they'd be like, Dr. Smith, Dr. whatever, and then they get to us and they would say the Clarks. Okay. And it didn't stand out. Then we were working with our manager at the time, and she was like, you know what? We could come up with something catchier. It'll help us stand out more. And so we were thinking about it one day, and after every single coaching session that we would do, everybody would say the same thing. They would say, man, you guys are amazing. Man, you guys are amazing. So then one day it was like, you know what? The Amazing Clarks. Why don't we just run with that?
We receive it. Yeah. We own it.
And it worked. It stands out. So now when they go through the names, they're like, Dr. Smith, Dr. Jane, the Amazing Clarks. What the hell is the Amazing Clarks?
Right.
So it catches them off guard. They think it's like a magic act or something. They're like, what is this? So it piques people's interest.
Hey, we are kind of like a magic act. Yeah, we do magical things.
I was going to say, because you actually have to live up to the name now.
Yeah.
Amazing. You have to do amazing things. And from what I understand, what I've read about you and seen your clips and looked at your Instagram page, you guys are awesome. I'm going to tell you specifically one of the pages I saw. I think it was your clip from the Black Love show where you were talking about appreciation. But we'll jump into that. So I really want, you guys got so much I want to discuss. But let's jump first from the beginning. How long have you been married?
We have actually been married for 20 years. But we were together for 10 years before we got married.
Okay, so about 30-something years together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you would basically say that your marriage is successful in a way.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Very successful.
Absolutely.
We've been together almost 30 years. I'm not just saying it to say it. We're still madly in love.
Yeah.
Not just, oh, we okay with each other, we like each other.
No.
We are still literally madly in love with each other.
Nice, nice. And we're going to get to that. We're going to get to why and how.
Right.
No, you know what? Because it's crazy because I wrote a book called Expressions of Love and Romance. And it was a transparent look at my journey through love when I didn't know what love and romance were
Mhm.
to now, present day.
Nice.
So when people, I run into so many people, male and female, who don't have the attitude that you have because they haven't found that yet.
Yeah.
And they don't know about how to go about finding that, or there's a block. So that's why this is such a great show for me, because it's going to help me as well, but it's also going to help people out there who watch the show, and we'll get into that. So now I understand you guys are from different parts of the globe. Now, how did you, first of all, where are you from, and how did you get together if you're so far away from each other?
So I'm originally from Fresno, California, Central Valley. And Anthony is from Brooklyn, New York. And we met in Fresno when we were in our 20s. And we met at the club.
Okay, sometimes that's usually how it goes. And you now, was it okay, Anthony? Was it the whole love at first sight in the movie? See her across the dance floor, and you floated to her, and she floated to you, and or was it you spilled a drink? How did it happen, brother?
That's a good one. Okay, how did it happen? All right, you want the long story? Or you want the short story?
Man, listen, you tell me whatever you feel. Whatever's going to keep you in good situations tonight, you tell it.
In a good situation.
Okay, okay. So we met, like you said, at a club, and I ran into her a couple of different times, and she was modeling at the time, and but I didn't get at her. It was like she was beautiful. I was attracted to her, but guys were kissing her ass too much, and if everybody's kissing her butt, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
So this particular night, I went to the club and I saw her again, and she saw me from across the room. I tried to play it like I didn't see her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool all the time.
And so the other chicks in the club, they were trying to, waiting for me to make the move, but I wasn't going to make a move. Then Melanie ran up on me. She came up to me and offered to buy me a drink. And for one, I respected that because I knew that I would eventually meet the woman of my dreams that I would fall in love with and marry, but she had to be a go-getter. It had to be a woman that was a ride or die chick that had confidence, that went after what she wanted.
Right.
So the other chicks were waiting for me to buy them drinks, playing coy, and Melanie had the confidence to approach me and offer me to buy me a drink, and that impressed me. And so we sat down. After that, we started talking all night. I bought her drinks after that, of course, and we immediately connected. We started talking about spirituality and really heavy concepts, and this was like 30 years ago. So back then, there was very few people that was on the spiritual tip.
Right.
And so to find this beautiful woman in the club that could get down on that level, it was like, wow, mind blowing. And so it wasn't love at first sight, but I could tell that it was definitely the potential.
Cool. And see, now periodically I'm going to jump in and say message because what you just said is important. I had a show on chivalry. I had a show where we always speak in the second half about love, romance, all those kind of things. And I've run into women who just say, no, I just like the man needs to make the first move. I'm just not that way. And that's what it has to be. Now, Melanie, now we're going to bring you in on it. Now, what possessed you to do that and be comfortable enough? Because especially nowadays where women have to say, no, men don't do the same thing like they used to do. So I need a man who's going to open my door. I need a man who's going to do this. I need a man to buy my drink. You found the love of your life. You went and bought him a drink. What do you say to those ladies who have those conversations?
If you want something in life, sometimes you have to go after it. And I had, like Anthony said, we had crossed paths several times. And when I approached him, I went up to him to ask. I saw him come in, and Anthony's really tall. He's 6'5", and I'm really tall. I'm 6'1". So when a tall girl sees a tall man, I'm not gonna wait around for all the short girls to snatch him up. That drives me nuts. Seeing really tall guys with little short girls, I'm like, No, I need the tall guy, right?
Right.
So I saw how tall he was. I had seen him before. So I just went up to him to ask him a question. He had tried to talk to somebody else. So I asked him if he ever called that girl. And he said he hadn't. So I asked him why not. He said, she's not my type. I said, what's your type? He said, you.
I felt it coming. I felt it coming.
Right?
That was a softball. She just
Right?
lobbed it like that.
So after he said that, it shocked me. I didn't know what to say. So I thought, like, in my head, I was like, what do I say next? What do I say next? I'm really feeling him. And then I was like, you know, buy him a drink. Offer to buy him a drink. So then I asked him, like, can I buy you a drink? And he was like, could tell he was taken back. And he was like, yeah, okay. So that was it.
And see, that's what started the whole thing. Now, being from New York and California, I know obviously when you started dating on whatever level, you thought about the distance thing. Obviously it worked. Were there hesitancies on either side about the distance?
No. I was actually living in California already.
Oh, you were already over
I
there.
went to California to go to college.
Okay.
So that's how I got out there. So I was living there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was easy. That was simple.
Yeah, that was easy.
Okay, and so when you guys got together, obviously you dated, you started feeling each other, you moved on, and you're like, okay, yeah, let's get engaged and blah blah blah, and you did all that good stuff, and you got married, and now you're married and things. Where did this thing come about with both of you doing the same thing, like life coaching and or love coaching? Is it one person's thing and then the other person came along, or were you both kind of doing it?
You know what? I actually started first, and we both were married previously to other people. We got married pretty young. And so when we met, I was just like a couple of years out of my divorce, maybe like a year and a half. And Melanie was had just gotten divorced as well. And so in my first marriage, that failed horribly. And I did everything the traditional way. And I married my college girlfriend. And the only reason I married her was because she got pregnant. And at the time, I had an offer to play pro basketball in Peru and pro baseball with the Brewers to play double-A baseball.
Wow.
And then she got pregnant, but we weren't together. We were doing the X-sex. I call it X-sex.
Yes.
You know, we break up, get back together, sex, break
there
up.
You go. Yeah.
Yeah. So we fought like cats and dogs. We were not compatible, but then she got pregnant. And when she got pregnant, she's like, I'm pregnant, twin boys, and they're yours.
Wow.
And so I had to call my agents who were like, you know what, I can't report to camp right now. I got to handle this right now. And to make a long story short, the twins were born, named after me. And the relationship, the marriage just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And after about 3 years, I couldn't take it anymore and I left. And to make a long story short again, the kids turned out to not be mine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I was devastated. I hit rock bottom. I lost I was divorced. I lost my twin boys. I lost my athletic career. At some point, I even felt suicidal. I even contemplated suicide.
Wow.
But then there was a little voice in my head. My spirit was like, you know what? You knew she wasn't the one. I knew she wasn't the one for me. And I could always tell that the one for me was out there. And I knew I was going to eventually meet my perfect partner. And but I realized that in order for me to do that, I had to be the best me possible. And I had to get my life together. And so that's what I did. I went on a mission. And I completely flipped it. I got to the point where I started studying women. I started studying relationships, studying dating, just really immersed myself in it. And I'm a very, when I focus on something, I make it happen. So after I recovered and rebuilt myself, other men started coming to me going, yo, how are you getting all these chicks? How are you getting all these women to fall in love with you? Teach me. So I started teaching men.
Right.
If you ever seen that movie Hitch, to this day, I believe that that's my story, that somebody found my story and ran with it. Right. And then after a while of coaching these guys, and they started getting amazing results, they started calling me the game doctor. And so then I met Melanie. And so I was working with men in coaching, and the more I would talk to her about what was going on, she would give me advice and her perspective. And it was like, yo, you're a coach. You got it in you. But she didn't want to do it at first. She was like, nah, that's your thing. I'm not doing that. That's you.
Yeah.
And eventually she kept coming closer and closer to the coaching game, and boom, she fell in love with it, and we've been coaching together as a team for 22 years.
Yeah, and see, that's what I wanted to. That's what I wanted to ask, because, sometimes couples do that, but you don't usually see, like LeBron James and his wife. She's not a basketball player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for you to fall in love with this, obviously somewhere within yourself, Melanie, you knew that you obviously had some of the same things. Because I guess there's things that you can technically learn how to communicate with folks on certain levels as a life coach and or a love coach, but you got to have your own understanding of self.
Absolutely. And I took a similar journey like Anthony took. I had recently been divorced. I had 2 children. And I got divorced because I was modeling and I got offered the opportunity to do runway modeling in Paris. And my husband at the time said, if you do that, it'll end our marriage. I'll divorce you and keep our kids.
Oh, wow.
And I did not want that. So I gave up the opportunity, but obviously I became resentful and it ended up ruining the marriage. And so when I left that marriage, I was really sad. And so I went into therapy. I did therapy. I read a lot of self-help books, and I really went into a self-healing mode for myself. Right. I realized that it wasn't just not being able to go to Paris that was creating a problem in the marriage. It was my self-esteem. It was my childhood. My traumas were showing up. And so I knew that I had to clean that up and do some self-work before I could have a loving, committed relationship in the future. So I went to work doing that. So everything we do in coaching is part of my journey, part of his journey, which is what makes us great coaches. We've lived it. We've taken that path. And that's how we know how to guide people through finding love and letting go of the past and fears and insecurities and all that good stuff. So we have a similar journey, which brought us together. And I didn't want to be a coach because I actually wanted to be a novelist. I had my own dreams. And Anthony would work, I'd work with him and I'd give him advice and help him. And he'd say, you should do it, you should do it. And I would just be like, that's not my thing. Even though my whole life I've given advice to people, like even as a girl, like 13-year-old girl, I remember giving neighbor ladies advice about their boyfriends. Like I've always done it. It just comes naturally to me. So once he got up and running, I said, I did this. I said, I'll be the business part. I'll be the marketer. I'll be your support system. And when he started doing seminars, he's like, you're doing it with me. He just pushed me out on that stage. He's like, she's going to start. And before I knew it, it was the Amazing Clarks. We're doing it together.
And like she said, we lived it. And so we knew firsthand what it looks like and how to get there. And even when we first started dating, we both were in agreement that I don't just want a partner, I want a soulmate. I don't just want a relationship, I want bliss. And if I can't have that, I'd rather be single and by myself. So we were like, okay, we both agreed. So it was like, let's learn, how are we going to get that? How are we going to build it? And we knew we couldn't do it with traditional relationship advice because that's what happened in our first marriages. And all the people around us that used that traditional advice, it didn't work for them either. So it was like, we have to create our own roadmap to relationship bliss. So that's what we did. We went on a mission to, customize our relationship to work for us. How do we grow? How do we expand? And after we nailed it, after about, I'd say the first 8 years, we had it down packed. Yeah. And people started going like, yo, are you guys newlyweds? You just met, you just started dating. They wanted what we had. So then it made it easy. That made it easy for us to turn around and start working with couples.
Yeah, we realized how blessed we were. And then we decided to share our blessings. It's like what we have is a blessing. And if we can help other people, we definitely want to do that. And then we also came to this realization that, we really want to make an impact on the world. And couples are parents. And they are raising the future generations. So if we can help couples to have a great relationship, that's going to be a great foundation for future generations. And that's something that we knew we didn't have. All the traumas, all the stuff we went through, we had to go clean it up. But what if we could help couples and then they didn't inflict that kind of stuff onto their kids, the world would
Right.
be a different place.
Right. So, and that's what I wanted to ask you, because when you figured it out and you both was like, okay, ding, here it is. We can do this. And now it's something that takes off for you.
Yeah.
How did it become so big on that level? Who came to you? Because obviously you were doing couples, and then somebody said, "Yo, we need to put you on a show, or we need to do this." And you guys are the Amazing Clarks. That's such a teamy type thing.
Okay.
You know, in all honesty, we just started doing our work, and Anthony's super creative. Like, he's a writer, he's a musician. When you were talking about, oh, you met and then you got engaged, I was like, yeah, I wish it went like that. No. Anthony was a musician, a writer. He wrote rap music, so creative, so many gifts. So our first 10 years were us saying, hey, we know our spirit is telling us we have gifts, and let's put our gifts out there. So he started with the music, and then he was still coaching the men, and then he wrote a book for men. And then I helped him with that. Then we started doing coaching together. We learned about energy and brain science and all these amazing things we do in our coaching. And then we started coaching people, and they started sending people. One of the people that we attracted was Melinda. And Melinda, as you know, is a television producer.
Yes.
So we literally had our first probably group of clients. There were 6 television producers in our client list.
Wow,
and every single one of them was like, you guys need a television show. You guys need a television show. So that's kind of how it started. And then we got a manager and an agent, and we just started pitching. Anthony wrote shows. We've probably pitched about 20 shows, and something that's kind of annoying, but I'm making peace with it. A lot of the shows that we've pitched, they said no to us. And then we saw shows like that, which are actually those shows, maybe 5 years later, because we tend to be ahead of our time. Anthony is super creatives tend to create what's coming next and not what's popular now.
Right.
So everything that's happening now for us, like being on Black Love, we've done the Dr. Drew show.
Dr. Drew show a couple of times.
You know, we get invited on all kinds of podcasts. Our business is growing. We've been doing this for 20 years. You know, everyone thinks, oh, overnight success. No, it's not overnight success. It's 20 years of hard work and showing up and doing what needs to be done. And with Black Love, amazingly, a young lady that is on our nonprofit, we have a nonprofit, she's on the board. She said to us, you guys got to be on Black Love. Why are you not on Black Love? And so she chased it down for us and was like, here's the link. Apply, sign up. They need to see you. So it's just unfolding over time.
And, you know, like she said, it's whenever we work with somebody, they get amazing results. Then they go back to their people, and their people are like, yo, what did you do? How'd you do this? And they refer. So our whole business is built on exponential growth, referrals. It just constantly we'll coach one person, then we'll end up coaching their entire family. And then those people will bring more people in. So we have people, we've been coaching people all across the planet.
Yeah.
And it's still just growing exponentially. So within those people that we coach, they have their connections. And then they bring us to their connections and their connections. So it's just all continuously and one more thing I'd like to add too. We're also heavy into the law of attraction. We know how to consciously attract what it is that we want. And it was like just the other day, a couple of weeks ago, I was telling Melanie, you know what? We're going to be on the Suits and Merrill show. And she was like, what?
I was like, I don't know.
Next week, boom, they plugged us on the show.
Wow.
So we attracted those opportunities. And the first big one that we really attracted was the Dr. Drew show years ago. And he had a show called Life Changes.
I think that was 2014 or
2010.
12.
2010.
2010?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he had a show called Life Changes where he took the best experts in their field from around the world and brought them on his elite team. And we were referred, but one of our clients recommended us. And because of our success rate, we have like a 90% client success rate, if not 95, which is unheard of in this industry. So we went in and met with the team, with the Dr. Drew show, and they loved us. And we were on the way out the door, and one of the higher ups, she was walking us out. She goes, you know what? I know they love you, but I'm not convinced you guys are the real thing yet. She goes,
Wow.
here's what we're going to do. I got some relationship issues. We're going to go in this room right now, and you're going to coach me. And I'll see if you're the real thing, because I'm the gatekeeper around here. We were like, let's do it. Let's go.
Okay.
So we went into the room, and she starts off, okay, here's the deal. My relationship is like this. I'm not happy in my relationship. My boyfriend, he keeps fighting with me, this and that. We both look at each other, and she goes, you want to go first? I go, you go first.
Ready?
Within a minute of the lady explaining, and the lady goes, wait, I'm not finished yet. Like, so we're good. We heard enough.
Yeah.
She goes, then what's going on? And Melanie goes, it's not the relationship. It's this job. You hate this job. And so because of that, it's affecting your relationship. And she looked at us and just broke down in tears. Like, no, we were coaching her for a whole hour.
Wow.
She fell in love with us, became our biggest supporter. And so she plugged us on the show.
That's
So,
cool. And I wanted to
yeah.
say, all of those shows that you mentioned in your 20-year career, and look at where you're at now.
Yeah.
On the After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. Look at where you are now. You have made it. Yo. That's awesome, man. That's an awesome story, because you know that even with the love stuff, and this is a life situation, so people have to continue to just remember to go for it, whatever it is. Just keep going for it. So you do that in love as well.
Yeah.
You know, you go for
Absolutely.
it on that level. You guys are really good communicating back and forth, and you both are life coaches, love coaches. I thought about this earlier. Are there days where one person is the coach and one person is the client? I won't say patient, and then you flip flop, and you flip flop. No, you lay on the couch now, and I'm going to sit in this chair. So, and then you flip flop. You have those days where you coach each other.
You know what? We tried not to, unless the person asks, because it could get a little sticky. So we made an agreement, like, nah, don't coach me unless I ask for you to coach me. Yeah. What would you say?
Yeah. You know, our belief system is we're responsible for our own happiness.
Yes.
So we don't go to each other like, help me fix this or whatever. We tend to go within for answers for ourselves, but we share what's inside of us, if that makes sense. But we don't really, we have the same belief system. So it'd be hard. If I'd go to him to coach me, he would tell me what I already know.
Well, we might be like, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
What's your perspective on this? But not like, coach me. And really, once you get the formula down, and we've been doing it for so long, I mean, just thousands of coaching sessions. So we can do it in our sleep.
Right.
So once you get that formula down, we just use it on yourself. So she knows how to coach herself. I know how to coach myself. In fact, like Melanie said, she would always say, she's her best coaching client. I'm my best coaching client, because I'm always working. I'm always striving to be better and better.
Yes.
And like Melanie said, and this is a big key to our success, I won't get into it too much because I know we're going to talk about it later, but in our relationship, even though I'm madly in love with her and we've been together for so long, she doesn't fulfill me, nor do I fulfill her. It's not her job to fulfill me. It's impossible for her to fulfill me. I have to learn to fulfill myself. So my job in the relationship, first and foremost, is to take responsibility for my own fulfillment.
Exactly.
That's why it's called self-fulfillment, not someone else fulfill me.
Right.
And her job is to take responsibility for her own self-fulfillment. I can't fulfill her. I don't want that job. That's not what I signed up for.
Right.
So when you get two people together that are self-fulfilled, it's easy to build a great relationship on top of that.
Yeah. And we both have a lot of interest and passions. Like, we have separate businesses, we have business together. So we have so much that we have going on that it's just really easy flowing communication. And one of the reasons we decided to not coach each other is we don't want to criticize each other. We don't want to put each other down. We really love to build each other up. And so we coach ourselves, and we share what we're going through, but we're very loving and very gentle with each other's inner world, because to us, that's what love is. I should be able to share what's inside of me, and know that I'm safe to do that, and that you're not going to say, well, you shouldn't do that, and you shouldn't do this, or this is wrong with you, and that's wrong with you. So we don't position ourselves for that. I personally have my own coaches. I got a lot of coaches. I got business coach. I got life coach. I love coaches because
Right.
I believe in personal growth. And if I'm a coach for others, I got to be coaching myself. And I got to use coaches so that I'm constantly growing for myself and for my clients.
Right. Very, very, very important stuff. And I'm shaking my head because you don't know these things when you're young. That's what growth is about. That's what maturity is about. That's what, again, looking at yourself and taking responsibility for
Yes.
everything about yourself, not just
Everything.
some things, because that's where a lot of relationships kind of have their little cracks because you want to blame the other person instead of
Yeah.
taking the blame on yourself and say, okay, let me work this out.
Yeah.
You know, so that's really cool. So I hope there are a lot of hearts and things out there that are mending, I'm sure, that watching this program. But we gotta take a short break. I don't want to go away from you guys too long. And then I'm gonna put you on the romantic funny man's love seat. This is where it's gonna get a little bit more tense.
Ooh.
You guys will be fine, I'm sure, but I don't know. I'm gonna see. I might mess around and say, hold on, let me go lay on my couch for a few minutes and let you guys talk to me because I don't know it all. But you know, when you write a book or you do seminars, people say you're an expert. So I don't consider myself an expert. I'm just experienced in
Yes.
certain things. You understand? So,
Beautiful.
all right, so we're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back with more of the Clarks. You guys aren't going to go anywhere, are you?
Nope.
Nah.
All right, I know you're not scared. We'll be right back with more of the
You're right
Clarks.
back. We're not scared.
We got each other. We're not scared.
After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. We'll be right back. Stay right there. All right, we're back. I thought y'all wasn't gonna go nowhere. It wasn't that long of a break. I told you it was a short break.
Anyway,
You guys are worn out. You're worn out already.
No.
I got scared. I couldn't take it anymore.
Well, we're back with more of the amazing Clarks on After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. Thank you so much again for being here. This is awesome, and we got all your information that I'll be flashing up throughout the show. Your Instagram, your website stuff, theamazingclarks.com. Right, we're gonna get that going. Let's make sure guys will get out there and follow you on these situations. And your Facebook is the Amazing Clarks, and we're gonna. And here's the IG, the Amazing Clarks.
Yes.
It's very simple, very
Yes.
easy. Okay, now here we go. A lot of the people that watch this show love the second half of the show because this is where I put my guests on the love seat. It's called the Romantic Funny Man's Love Seat. And it's really basic. I get your opinions on love, romance, intimacy, relationships and all that kind of stuff. And we have a lot of fun with it. All right.
Okay.
So you guys can answer the questions individually or you can answer them together. All right. So here's the first one. What is your definition of love and why is it important to you?
I will answer that. I kind of answered a little bit earlier. To me, my definition of love is being able to be completely vulnerable with your partner and know that you're safe and it's not going to be used against you. I believe we all have a spirit and an inner world, and when we can share that with someone, we really bond and connect. But most people are holding back because they're afraid to be judged by their partner, or they think they're going to be criticized. So to me, love is accepting each other and the good, the bad, and the ugly. I don't need to fix Anthony or change him at all. I love him just the way he is. If I do want some changes or improvement, I communicate. I'd like if you do this, but ultimately it's up to him to decide if he wants to make those changes. But I choose to love him right now, right as he is, today, tomorrow, and always.
Cool. And why is that important?
It's important to me because that is the beauty of a relationship, is being able to share who you really are authentically and to be loved and accepted for who you are authentically. That's really important.
I love it. That was good. All right.
Thank you.
So my perspective on that is that gratitude and appreciation is love in its smallest and most concentrated form. The more you have gratitude for something, the more you'll like it. And if you keep doing it, you'll love it. And if you keep doing it, you'll fall in love with it. So that is what love is. It's that expression, that continuous expression of gratitude and appreciation for your partner.
Why is that important?
And that's important to me from my perspective, because the most important thing in life for most people is happiness. And the thing that brings the people the most happiness is relationships and loving relationships. So it's the key to a good life.
Cool. Got you. Let's go to the next word. Romance. What is your definition of romance, and why is that important to you?
Okay, I'll let you answer that first.
Okay.
But by the way, do you know what romance means?
Don't try to flip this around on me, Anthony. Don't you try to be slick, brother.
No,
okay.
My
actually,
definition.
romantic means to be Roman-like. That's actually what it means. That's the definition. But go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, okay.
So let
So-
me tell you this. Hi, my name's Melanie Clark, and I'm not romantic.
Okay.
I think romance is making an effort to make your partner feel loved, and ambiance and flowers, and creating an environment that's loving. And I'm kind of not like that. Like, I'm really straightforward. Let's get to it. I'll be like, kiss me. So I'm pretty direct. I would say in our relationship, Anthony is the romantic one. He loves to light candles. He likes everything just so. He'll play music when we make love. He gets just the right music and lighting and timing, and I love it. But it doesn't come natural to me. So that, to me, that's what romance is. This right here, my husband is romance.
So Anthony, let me get this. She gives a definition of romance, but are you Roman?
Am I Roman? I'm Roman-like sometimes.
Roman-like sometimes? Okay, cool.
Yeah, that whole concept really was developed by the Romans, but that's where the whole thing comes from.
Sure.
You're so smart.
All those useless facts.
I know, right? I love that
So
about you,
many
though.
of them.
I love it. It's good.
Oh, appreciate that. Okay, so what do I believe with romance? Romance to me, in actuality, is like a form of foreplay, but not necessarily sexual. So it's like the sneak preview. It's setting mood. It's gratitude and appreciation once again. It's doing those things that I know it's gonna make her feel sexy. Doing the things that I know that's gonna make her feel feminine.
Nice.
Yeah, so
See, I told you he was the Roman.
And to be Roman-like sometimes.
And to be Roman-like, okay. You're dressing up like a Roman, so it doesn't make a difference how you do it. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe later. Maybe later.
That's the after show.
Exactly. That's cool. Let me ask you guys. I know a little bit about you now, and you can take it in any order, and you can answer in any order. Let's start with Melanie. Ladies first.
Okay.
Give me three things that attract you to a man, that are attractive to you about men.
Oh, well, men or my man?
Well, you can say your man.
Okay. First of all, I would say, I know every woman says this, but confidence. A man that is confident and carries himself with confidence is super attractive to me. I'm very attractive to tall men, and I think that's just because I'm a tall woman. I love men with long legs. Like, I will be sitting next to Anthony and look over at his legs and them jeans, and I'm just like, sir. And I just like a long, muscular body. That's what attracts me, but I love long legs. And the third thing I would say is scent. Like, I love when a man wears a nice cologne. I will stop a man on the street and say, "Excuse me, sir. I just want to tell you that cologne is incredible. I'm not hitting on you. I'm married. I love my husband, but you need to know that's working. That's working for you. Keep doing that."
Okay, Brother Anthony, what attracts you to your wife or attracts you to women?
Okay, so the first thing, of course, is I'm a guy, so the face is the first thing that's going to catch me. Attractive face. A sense of humor, that's really important. And it's one of the things I love about this woman. Not only is she beautiful in the face, but she's an incredible sense of humor. And I was the first date that we went on, we went to a movie, and this woman just was throwing little one-liners at me and had me in stitches. And it was like, wow, that's never happened before.
Okay.
The last thing is her walk. I love a sexy stride. Not when they're trying to, working too hard to do it. That's just that natural, that stallion thing.
A walk that has theme music behind it. She has
There
theme
you
music.
go. There you go. There you go.
Got you,
So
brother. Got you.
those are the three main things.
Okay, cool. Now let's go to the other side. Let's go to the other fence.
Mhm.
3 things you can start, Anthony, that are not attractive to you, or women.
Not attractive.
Not attractive. Wow, that's a good question. Okay. Oh, about my wife? No, I can't.
No,
Everything's
this is
good
where
about
you
my
need to
wife.
flip this around and just be general.
Okay. Okay. What's not attractive to me is bad breath.
Stinky.
Yes. Stinky.
Stinky.
You guys are definitely married. Go ahead, continue.
You see, also like chicks that don't take care of their hair. That's a turn off. A bad walk, bad posture, women that walk off beat.
The beat of their theme song, their theme.
Yeah,
There's the musician
exactly.
in him, right?
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
Counting the beats.
yeah, so it would be those three.
Okay, Melanie. Now you can be general as well. Things that just are not attractive
Yes,
about.
things that are not attractive. Men with dirty hands, fingernails. If you have dirt under your fingernails, it's just gross to me. Or unkept, unmanicured hands. I've always found that unattractive because I always think, like, do you think a woman is going to let you touch her? Not going to happen.
No.
So bad, dirty hands is not attractive to me. Bad teeth. I do not like unattractive smiles. I have a background in dentistry, so I know my teeth.
Right.
And so teeth are very important to me. A smile is very important to me. So a bad smile is unattractive to me. And I'm gonna have to go with one of Anthony's. It's stinky, like bad breath, mildewed clothes. Like I don't know why so many guys don't dry their clothes all the way, and then like there's like a mildew smell, and you're standing next to him in line, like, sir, you did not let that dry all the way, and now you are a stinky.
You guys seem like you have some serious issues with stinky people. And now, now I feel like the coach, the life coach now, as a counselor. You guys bring your stuff out now. See how good I am? Yes.
Hey, can I tell you something?
Please.
Honestly, smell is part of attraction.
Mm-hmm.
When we smell other people and they smell good to us, and not everybody's smell good is the same, it's because we are compatible. And so if you're around someone and you are not attracted to their smell, that is a sign that you're not compatible and that your DNA will not mix well to make children.
Yeah.
So can I tell you, I love Anthony's sweat. I love his armpits. Like I am like, that's how you know it's real. Like I'm like, oh, you're sweating. I love it.
Yeah, we've never gone this far in this half of the show, but it's all right. I appreciate the honesty. It's so fantastic. You gotta love somebody if you love this. You know what's so funny, and I really got to say this really quickly. I was watching Porky's the other night, and there's a scene in the movie where the female was attracted to the Musk locker room, and it just turned her on. So I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
Sean, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't be saying stuff just to be saying it.
I'm sure you don't, because whoever wants to admit that, you got to be telling the truth.
Yeah.
That's not something you just talk about. So, okay, let's have a little fun with love and romance and all that. We know that respect, honesty, and trust are essential in a relationship. Got to have them. Respect, honesty, and trust. But right now, tonight, for this show, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to get rid of one of those and still have a successful relationship. Which one would you get rid of?
I would say honesty. I think because sometimes you can hold back on honesty and still respect the person and still trust them. Most of the time, when people are not honest, it's because they don't want to hurt someone's feelings or they don't want to get in trouble. So I think that you know, there's room in a marriage to not say everything and not be 100% honest about everything. And I'll just say, in this case, because I have to choose something,
Yes.
it would just be it would be omission. It would be, maybe I could tell you that, but I'm not going to. And I think we could still make it work with that.
That's so cool because I've had this conversation as well. If you don't tell somebody something, it's not like you're not being honest with them.
Yeah.
You leave things out that I don't think are relevant to the success of our relationship. So Anthony, you have, same question to you, Anthony. Which one, respect, honesty, and trust, which one would you get rid of?
I agree. I would get rid of honesty. Because to some degree, everybody's a little dishonest. And whether they're omitting stuff,
embellishing.
or do I look fat in this dress?
There you go.
No, you look beautiful. You know, men
Hey,
don't
you
tell
always
not
say that.
you.
I was gonna
you.
I was gonna
You know
say,
better than that.
there you go. Here it comes.
Yeah. So yeah, she knows. All day long until she knows she's hot. But most men, you know, most people aren't completely honest, so I can deal with that. The trust. If I can trust you, even if you're not honest with me, as long as I can trust you, you ain't gonna do nothing to hurt me. You can lie to me, but if it doesn't hurt me,
sure,
I trust you. And respect is a must. Just gotta have respect.
Okay. All right. Fantasy time. Nothing crazy over the board. You're walking down the street. I'll go one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Melanie, you're walking down the street. You kick a bottle by accident. Out pops your romantic, funny man, Shawn Cornelius genie. Now he's a low-budget genie, so you only get one wish. You only get one, but it has to include love. You probably have everything you need basically now, but what would you wish for with that one wish?
I would wish, you're going to think this is crazy, but I would wish to have my own island so I could be alone with Anthony.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I can do that. I'm the genie, remember? It's cool.
Okay. Thanks, Jeannie.
You're so welcome. I got you. Brother Anthony, would you like an island beside her island, or were you going to change you have the same question. I got you. One wish.
Actually, I would say, I'm going to switch it up. I would pick an island. An island so I could be with my wife. Yeah, I like that. That's what I'd pick.
Wait a minute.
Check this out. The reason we picked that was because we actually picked that years ago.
Really?
So on the Black Gloves show, I don't know if you saw this episode, but we tell the story of how we knew for sure that we were going to be together. So,
you tell it really fast?
Yeah, I'll tell it really fast.
I'll tell you fast.
All right, go ahead.
My father had passed away.
Sorry,
I was getting on a plane for the Bay Area to come home after he passed. Some guy sat next to me and said, "Can I ask you a couple questions?" I said, "No, my father just passed. I'm mourning. Please leave me alone." He did respect my wishes. He said, "I'm just going to ask you 2 questions. I promise, then I'll leave you alone." I was like, "Fine, what?" He said, "If you could have any material possession other than money, what would it be and why?" I said, "An island, because I like to be alone, but I also like to party and have my friends. So that's what I would want." And he said, "Okay, one more question. If you could be any animal, what animal would you be and why?" I said, "I would be an orca whale because they're black and white, like me. I'm biracial. And they love their babies. I love my babies. And they communicate through whale song. And I love that. Awesome." Got off the plane, never saw the guy again. Finally got with Anthony because we hadn't seen each other in a couple of months because he was away at a training and I had stuff going on.
Right. And at the time, we didn't know whether we were gonna be together because I was going to be stationed like in the desert in California, like far away. And she was in Fresno and her job was there, everything was there. So it was like,
how will we know?
We're in love, but if I got to go a separate way, and you saying, "Hey, how's this going to work?
So,
right? Should we be together or not?" So we were both looking for a sign.
So when I got home, he got a break from his training and he called me and said, "Come to Sacramento and see me." So I said, "Okay." So I went to Sacramento to go see him. I needed to see him. I was sad. I needed his love. I get there, we do our thing. The next day we're having lunch. He says, I said, "Oh, this guy asked me these questions on the plane. I want to ask you the questions." He's like, "Go for it. What's the question?" I was like, all right, first question. You could have any material possession other than money. What would it be? And why? He said, oh, an island. And I was like, oh, that's what I said. And then why? And he said, same reason. I like to be alone, like to party, want to have my people, but then I can make everybody go, do what I want to do. Great. I was like, that's awesome. Then I said this. I said, if you answer the second question the same as me, we're soulmates. And he said, no pressure there. Let's walk. So we get up and we're walking arm in arm. It's Christmas time. We're outdoors at a mall, outdoor mall. And I said, and he says, ask me second question. Second question, Anthony. If you could be any animal, what animal would you be and why? And he's contemplating it. And he stops and he looks at me and he goes, an orca whale. And I lost my stuff. I started jumping up and down. I was kissing his face.
People were clapping. They thought I proposed to it.
I was like, you're my soulmate.
That's
great. And then I was like, why? And his answer was similar, not exactly the same. He liked the spiritual component. He liked their power. But that was really something that really solidified our relationship and really helped us to know how compatible we are and were, and that we would figure it out. We would figure out how to be each other. So that's why when you ask the question, we both know. We already know.
That's cool.
We've been down that road.
All right. All right, so here we go.
Genie.
Well, you just made my work easy. I didn't do nothing. Shoot, I'll go find somebody else.
Thank you, Jeannie.
Thank you, Genie.
You're welcome. So check this out. We're going to do this really quickly. I'm going to ask you a question, both of you to answer in a minute. You have a minute to answer it. Then we're going to get into the game I love to play at the end of the show with each individual. So take a minute, Melanie, and please give the gentleman, because I'm going to flip the genders, please give the gentleman some advice about dating women today.
They can't resist.
Now, do you know now you're going to make me edit a whole, didn't I ask you, that's the Brooklyn that just came.
That's a real book.
That's the name of the book?
Yeah.
Okay, you could have typed it, but it's okay, that's fine. That's okay, that's fine. You just got my show canceled before we all right, favorite vacation spot? And this should be easy for you.
Vacation spot. We don't vacation a lot. We're entrepreneurs. We work all the time.
But I know you have a spot, even if it's the living room or whatever. You guys have a spot.
I would say Palm Springs.
Yeah. Palm Springs.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Don't make me manipulate you, Melanie. Just answer the question, please. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Favorite TV show?
Is yours news?
The news.
The news.
The news. Okay. All right.
Politics.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
And politics.
All right.
Oh yes, the magnificent Mrs. Maisel. It's great.
It's great. Okay. All right. Last one. Favorite time of the day for love making?
Morning.
Nighttime.
You guys knew this, right? Did you not? You didn't know. You didn't see, nobody surprised each other just now, right?
No. We know that already. Yeah.
Okay. So you're opposites then.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you still compromise though.
We make it work.
You make it work. There you go. See, I love that. I appreciate that. All right, here we go. With answering that question, Melanie and Anthony Clark, the amazing Clark, you are now off the romantic funny man's love seat. Listen, I appreciate you guys so much. This has been awesome. I thank you so much. I wish you nothing but the best in your careers, in your lives. Continued blessings. Before we go, 30 seconds each. Please leave the people with a positive message running into tomorrow.
Be honest. Stop ghosting these women. You're traumatizing them. If you don't feel a connection or you don't want to move forward with dating, tell them. Just say, it was nice meeting you. You're awesome. I don't think we're a good fit. I wish you well moving forward. Stop ghosting these women. You're making them go crazy inside of their minds and thinking something is wrong with them when basically it's just not a good fit.
Right. Okay, Anthony, give the women some advice about dating men.
The main piece of advice that I would give is to be vulnerable. And most women, when they're dating, they don't want to be vulnerable because they don't want to get hurt. That's completely understandable. But people can't connect to you if you're not vulnerable. And so, you know, a lot of women, they go into dating with this little cold little veneer. And you're not, yeah, and they're waiting for some guy to break it down or somehow to miraculously figure out the combination to get it to come down. That's too much work for people. So if you're vulnerable, if you, whatever you are, authentic, be that. And even though people may not like it, that's okay. That person's not a match for you. But if you're vulnerable, the person that's going to be the right person for you, they'll be able to find you. And when they find you, they'll be able to feel you. And so, vulnerability.
Okay, cool. Appreciate that. Appreciate that for both sides. Now, here's how we're going to do this, because I've never done this with two people on the show. So this is a game I call Favorite Sevens. Okay? I'm going to call out 7 things, and you just give me your favorite. So if you want to go one behind each other, we'll do it that way. All right? So it's really, really kind of simple. All right, here we go. Ready?
Right.
Favorite food?
Salmon.
Okay. Melody?
Salad. I'm a vegetarian.
Okay,
That's all I
rabbit.
eat.
Okay, silly rabbit. Sure, no problem. Cool. That's fine. All right. Favorite food? We got salmon and salad.
Salmon salad.
Favorite all-time song?
I'll say mine. Mine is Love on Top by Beyonce.
Beyonce. Okay. It's a good one. Yeah, when you're into music, it's a rough one because there's so many things that attract you to a song.
Yeah.
Right now it's John Legend.
Yeah, best you ever had, John Legend.
He's been listening to that.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, that's his favorite right now.
Right.
Okay. All right. Favorite movie all time?
Color Purple.
True Romance.
All right. Easy ones. Favorite book you've ever read in your life?
Favorite. Oh, mine is Journey of Souls.
Mine is How to Get Over That.
A positive message for them.
My message is the same every year. Love one another. Simple. Love one another.
My message is, if you don't go within, you will go without.
Powerful. Powerful. Simple and powerful. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you again. I'm humbled and I'm honored that you came and sat down with me. I hope my people out there enjoy. I'm sure they did. I'm sure they got some questions so they can look you up, and I'll put your stuff up again so that they can know exactly where to find you. And you guys can tell them, but I'm gonna drop it up here really quickly before we head out of here. So it's the Amazing Clarks Instagram.
Anything the Amazing Clarks, yes.
Yeah, everything Amazing Clarks, the Instagram stuff and all that kind of stuff too. So listen, that's beautiful. All right, guys. Well, listen, I got to get up out of here. So as I always say in parting, please go with God in your heart. Have a peace of mind. Have a wonderful, wonderful tomorrow. And we know things are going on out here. Please take care of yourselves. Be safe. If you're not going to take care of yourself, look out for us. You know what I'm saying? Have some kind of courtesy. So from Lula Mae and Cornelius, his baby boy, I'm Shawn Cornelius saying good night. God bless you. And I'll catch you around the corner on the next episode of After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.